Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. So we have a lot of keychain and mini cubes here, and we have this new one from GAN. Now, there's already been a few reviews of it, so I'm going to really quickly go through this. We've got the keychain. That's kind of a nice little thing here. As far as the puzzle itself, it's not bad. Let's check a couple pieces out. Not really reminiscent of much of a GAN puzzle besides, having some tracks that are similar to it, but shape of the pieces are like a lot of other puzzles. Nothing super extraordinary, no magnets, none of that. There's actually no magnets in any of these except for a couple that I have added them to. So what I want to do, let's do a quick solve with this GAN one before we get going, just so I really get a full feel of it. But I already have some opinions on it, and we'll go with that in just a second. So, let's do a quick solve. It's been a little bit since I've done some CFOP, but I think I'll be all right. Whoop, did the wrong thing. That's not the fault of it being a keychain, it's just the fault of me not paying attention. Whoop. Okay, so quite flexible. Let's go over this. I'm going to go through the keychain puzzles, let you know what you should or should not get in this realm. And right off the bat, I'm going to say, don't get the GAN one. I'll explain why in a second, but let's go over these. So we have things from Chi. There are mini puzzles like the Volk Mini, but they have this pillowed keychain cube. There's also pillowed keychain cubes from YJ as well. We have mini puzzles from Moyu, the Mofeng Jiaoshi Cubing Classroom series, and they have 50mm. This is 45, which I magnetized, 30, 35, and 30. Yushin has their 30mm keychain, which I actually had two of them, so I could replace a corner. And then there's the Maru mini cube, not the nano, but just the mini. And then we have GAN. So real quick overview of these. These come in different sizes for the Mofeng Jiaoshi. We've got 45, they have the 50mm. And then the keychain ones are 40, 35, and 30. So 30 is the smallest. 30 is also the size of this GAN one. 30 is also the size of the Maru one. Now the Maru one is just atrocious. It's blocky, it doesn't quite work at all. It's really reminiscent of a Rubik's brand, so just no. The Yushin one was one of the nicer ones that came out that was this size when it first came out. It's quite stable, but it really doesn't perform great. And let me actually see. Yeah, this does have screws. So all of these can be adjusted. I don't think this one can though. Can this? I can't even get a piece out of that. Just don't even worry about that. Oh, I forgot to grab this one. This is also Z-Cube. Z-Cube has a 30mm one, and it also can be adjusted. It's just like that one. There is from YJ this 20mm one, and it is adorable and actually performs quite well. So I'm always very surprised with this one, although it has that pink plastic. They say it's 35mm. This part's about 30. This part's 35. I still feel like it can be in this group of them because in your pocket, it almost feels more comfortable because there's not these giant edges on them or corners on them. The Chi one is also 35 on the large ends, but 30, about 30 right there. And then we have the Volk, which is, 47.2, 47.3. So out of these, what should you get? Well, if you want something that's more novelty, that you can't really speed solve as well, these pillowed ones are great. They're a little more awkward to turn because of that pillowed feel. And the Chi one is a lot more stable. I have one big gripe about the way Chi had their clip though, and it's this. You can see the clip goes on the outside, like that. And for all the rest of them, they're clipped inside. Honestly, I don't worry about the keychains so much because I don't like keeping these on keychains since they can fall off, and unless you have it in a bag anyways, you're going to take it off. So if you want a pillowed one, get the YJ pillowed one for sure. That one I feel like performs just a little bit better. It's a little more flexible, and it has no keychain at all. And if you really want a keychain, you get this one, which seriously, this is a nice keychain. Like, look at that. It's really good. And then this keychain does come off. As far as just the 30mm ones, if you want one, get Moyu. And here's why I'm saying that. I know I just opened this GAN. I'm going to say no to the Z1. Z1's actually not bad. It's kind of more stable than the other ones, which makes it kind of nice to use. But the keychain doesn't have a way of coming off nicely. You have to pry that metal part off. So if you want it to be off and on, you need to pull that apart. These two actually have clips to them. And the performance is nearly identical. They have fairly large cuts in them. You can see those are kind of some big gaps there. The colors, I do like these colors of the GAN ones a bit more. It's a bit darker. Say a little bit nicer. This is kind of muted colored. So I like the colors of this GAN one. But this GAN one is like double the price of this Moyu one. And for a keychain, for something that's just small, that works well, it's something that's like half the price. Get that. If this one had magnets or like a dual adjustment system, yeah, you can get that. I mean, I think the big thing we can do is an average of 5 and see which one wins. But other than that, if you're looking for a keychain, Mofeng Jiaoshi Cubing Classroom series definitely has the edge on that. If you want a pillowed one, YJ has a good line right there as well, plus a super, super, super tiny one, which is adorable and surprisingly works well. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.